What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Cora Elise show where you get to laugh, learn, and grow with me every single week. Today's a deep one, guys. Me and Marta dive into spirituality, meditation, and to being present in the moment. We even discuss a little bit on sexuality and celibacy and the power of traveling and becoming connected with your own self values and true self. I'm hoping that this episode really resonates with a lot of you out there and really just helps and guides you to find your true self. I took a lot from this conversation. I'm definitely going to get Marta on again. This was a beautiful conversation. It flowed so nicely and organically. It would be great to get your feedback on the episode as well. So please make sure that you comment, like, subscribe, and share with friends and family. Let me know what you think. Let me know you're listening to the episodes. Any feedback is good feedback. So please let me know what you think of the shows and the episodes. To find more for myself, you can find me on Instagram as well as Cora Elise Fitness. You can also find this episode and all the episodes on the Cora Elise Show podcast on Spotify, Apple iTunes, and if you're more visual, you can catch this on YouTube as well. Really hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Let me know what you think and enjoy the show. How are you? It's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very good. I'm excited. I'm excited to dive deep and just talk about all of this.
Yes.
Things today.
I feel like I'm just going to put you on the bigger screen so we can see your lovely face. Yeah, I want to get right into the crevices and get deep with everything today, with meditation, with breathing, with just experiences from yourself as well, because I know that's what you specialize a lot in, isn't it, with the meditation and the breath work. So we'll start right there. In terms of what you actually do and your coaching at the moment, if you just want to tell the listeners, what it is you're doing in terms of your coaching.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a mindset coach and movement coach. So I come from a background of fitness and also dance. I've been, was used to work as a professional dancer and then as a personal trainer. And I just felt like, the people that I was working with, if we only tackled the physical body, we were not really going anywhere. So I started, of course, with my own practice in meditation, then I started including also a bit of breath work with my clients, and I just saw such big difference in the way they felt. So I started myself meditating a couple of years ago and just trying it. And to be fair, even before I started, I used to be very, I don't want to say judgmental, but I think that's what I was. Yes.
Yeah.
I will be like, oh, you cannot meditate, only if you are in the middle of the mountain and you are a monk, then that's meditation. Yeah. But if whatever you're doing in the city is not really meditation, you're just chilling. Yeah. That was literally the way I used to think about meditation, probably like a couple of years ago or 3 years ago. And then I just started with Headspace, and I saw the benefits in myself, how much it helped me with my anxiety, with my just everything, just with my stress levels, especially living in London. And then I just got the certification. I did, the whole breathwork course online. And now what I do, I've kind of moved away from fitness and everything is more holistic. So even with dance, it's not so much about like learning choreography, but when I work with one-to-one clients, it's just working more with like somatic exercises to release and to embody this like next level that I want to achieve. When they hired me as a mindset coach, we use mindset and movement. So breathwork is just, at the end of the session or at the beginning, if they come to the session very stressed, or also with my group coaching, that I have a 6 weeks group coaching, we always start with breathwork to just ground ourselves, whatever happened during the day. It's like, okay, let that behind and let's just focus now on this next hour and a half of just giving and receiving to all of us right now in the space. So yeah.
You can hear it shining through how passionate you are about it. It's amazing. Oh. I love it. You can hear it. But yeah, I think it's very interesting what you said about, the perception of meditation as well. And I think so many people, think that It's like hippie meditate. You've got to be a hippie to meditate, or you've got to be, like I said, a monk. It is getting better. I find a lot more people are open to it now than there was, you know, a few years ago. Cheers.
Cheers.
So yeah, I think it is getting a lot more, you know, there is a lot more understanding about meditation now and how it can help you within and also, you know, in your training and, you know, physical life. But I think there's still, you know, a lot of people that don't understand it. And I have tried, and I'm still trying with meditation, but it's so hard to get into. So yeah, I think myself and listeners, we're going to be interested in this. I'm really interested in this. And just to find out, you said you used Headspace to start out, right?
Yes. So let me explain you. So when it comes to meditation, especially living in a city like London, that is so busy and demands so much of your energy and your time every single day, it's literally a city that even when you try to take a day off, even you go to the park is full of people and so much energy is around, right? So when I started meditating, I was living in London, and I, you know, will use this app Headspace, which it was helpful at the time. You know, there's many different ways of meditation, and I think at the beginning, things like visualization, things like just focusing on one thing, focusing on your breath, taking it like very, very simple. Even a guided meditation is like, okay, so now we're just going to focus on our belly. We're going to focus on our toes. We're going to focus on the waves of the ocean. Just things that your mind can be occupied with, basically, at the beginning. Because otherwise, if you know, if it's the first time that you meditate and you live in such a big city like London or New York or something like that, it's going to be really hard for you to understand the stillness in the mind, you know, at the beginning. So that's why at the beginning is best for you to just focus on one thing and keep the mind actually busy with that visualization of you at the beach, or you actually thinking of one part of your body, which obviously it takes away the thought of like, okay, what am I going to have for dinner later? I shouldn't message my friend. Oh, I shouldn't wear this tonight at this party, something like that, you know? So the goal of meditation really, eventually, once you get comfortable with quieting the mind, the goal really is to actually realize something that is so much bigger than this physical body, something that connects you with the leaves of the tree, something that connects you with the water, something that connects you with the air. And it's just, and I don't think you can achieve this, you know, with on the first week that you do this. This is practice and practice and practice. Like you are breaking a pattern, right? You are building, you know, a new connection, new awareness. So once you get that awareness, it's like everything, it's kind of like nothing really matters, because when you get into that state, it's like this body, this experience that I have right now as a human, it's something temporary. This body is so fragile. Like my life can be so, you know, it can be gone tomorrow if no, if I cross the road at the wrong time. So the goal of meditation eventually is to really just observe and
make you more present.
Exactly. Yes. Just be present, just exist, and just realize the connection that you have with everything that surrounds you. Everything is energy. So, but to get there, of course, there's tools like breath work. You know, breath work is actually a tool to quiet the mind. The moment that we start controlling our breath, our respiratory system, our nervous system gets influenced by it. It's the same when we are scared. So we are late, we're running for the bus, we breathe here, right? So our respiratory system affects the way we feel. So once we start controlling the breath, like it's easier for you to control the breath than to control the mind. So that's why breath work is a really useful tool at the beginning to get into meditation, because you focus just on, I'm going to control my breath right now. I'm not going to try to not think, and I'm going to try to relax and breathe. And then automatically your nervous system relaxes, you know, everything just loosens. And then it's easy for you to tap into that space, that headspace of like, okay, this feels good. I'm just here, I'm just observing, and I'm going to continue focusing on the breath until this becomes something natural. And then I can go deeper into, you know, just focusing probably on your third eye and just moving energy.
Yeah, I'm literally listening to my breath right now and being conscious of how I'm breathing as you're saying it. Yeah, and I think like you said before about, you know, having all these anxieties and all these different thoughts, that's why it's so hard for people to channel really deep within, because as soon as they start getting all these things popping up, anxiety, you know, daily stresses, you know, life stresses, they're getting all these things in their head, and it's like, no, I don't want to do it, it's too much, and they stop. But I suppose it's like it's like training, you know, you're not going to see results after one day. You got to be, it's a lifestyle, you got to be consistent.
Absolutely.
So it's the same with the mind. And, you know, like I said before, if you was having anxiety, when you started getting into meditation and you started finding them anxieties, how did you deal with that?
Anxiety. I mean, there's many layers to this. I don't want to say that breathwork is the answer for anxiety, because anxiety can also be caused by you giving the energy in the wrong places with the wrong people. So you can breathe as much as you want. That if you continue going to the circle of people that give you that anxiety, if you continue to go to a work that doesn't make you fulfilled, there's many, many layers to this. But I guess, let's say that you are, you know, in the right you know, with the right partner and the right job and this and this and this, you are happy, and then you feel anxious because your workload is massive this week, then yeah, what I will do is really understand that it's just a temporary phase, like detach myself from what's happening. And same as, you know, at the beginning when I started, I used to think, you know, 2 weeks ago, I was really happy about something, and this feeling was temporary. Now it's not here anymore. So same as right now, I feel anxious, is here, but am I really going to care about this next week? It just takes, it takes the load of like, are you really going to care about this next month or like in a year? You know, if it's something big, like say that you have just broken up with like your long-term partner, it's like, well, I am going to worry next week. Are you going to worry about it next year? Can you detach yourself from, can you see this, you know, kind of like from a bigger perspective, that this is not just who you are right now. When we feel anxious, it's because we let this feeling overcome our entire existence. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I feel in danger. I feel, you know, I cannot breathe. And it's because we absorb ourselves into this feeling. And it's kind of like, what I will suggest is to practice, again, is a practice, but to try to detach yourself and to see this, am I really going to care about this in a year? Is this really that important? You know, 2 weeks ago I was happy about this, and now this thing is gone. Now I'm worried about this. This thing is going to be gone in 2 weeks or in a year. And what is causing this anxiety, which this has probably nothing to do with meditation and breath work, but really actually being aware of your actions and being aware of where this anxiety comes from, and how much are you subscribing to this all the time. You know, if it's a workplace, is there a way that we can start looking at other places to work at, because you don't want to give so much time to something that gives you anxiety? Same with a partner, same with friends. So it's really, that's why there's so many layers to this. Like, you have to be very honest with yourself. Where is anxiety coming from? Like, where are you lying to yourself, saying that this is good for you, yet you feel so unworthy, you feel so anxious, you feel so not capable of being there and deserving of that situation, probably, you know, like it can be so many.
100%. It could be so many layers. Like I said, if you're going through a tough time with your relationship and then the job on top of it as well, there could be so many layers. And I think sometimes people feel like it's the worst thing in the world. The worst feeling, like I said, feel like they're going to die from it. They get so depressed. And
absolutely,
like I said, it's a temporary thing. And that's when it comes back to being present in the moment and just think, well, I'm not going to feel like this, you know, in a few months' time, maybe in a few weeks' time. So I think once you channel that, definitely, you know, you can overcome anything, can't you? And, you know, with your journey meditation, how long have you been meditating for?
I started like a couple of years ago. I started this 21 days challenge with Deepak Chopra. Headspace and Deepak Chopra was the initiation for me to, you know, what's like the starting point for me.
What made you get into that?
So this was actually my ex-flatmate, Bami. I used to live with her, and she used to use Headspace. And again, before that, it's funny because before that, I also had another friend who recommended me, who suggested that I listened to some podcasts from Deepak Chopra, and I was like, nah, like I was just so judgmental. Honestly.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I would just be like, nah, it's not for me. Like I just can't. Or there were so many things. There's so many things that come up during meditation. Like you confront yourself when you sit in silence and you have, like, all of those thoughts and beliefs that you have been trying to avoid and being distracted from. Once you sit in silence, it's like, oh, I feel insecure about this. Oh, I'm not happy with this. Oh, okay. Like this is something that I keep pushing back. And when I sit in silence, it's like,
Yeah, because
so
we don't want to face the magic, do we?
exactly.
We don't want to face the fears.
Exactly.
Mm.
So yeah, the 21 days challenge, I mean, is honestly, I did it free on YouTube, like everyone can do it, and I so recommend it. It's called 21 Days of Abundance, and it's 15 to 20 minutes guided meditation. He's literally talking almost the whole time, and again, he's saying you what to think, which at the beginning is good because it helps you to not be thinking of something that worries you or family members or whatever. So yeah, it's like, okay, I'm going to come back to abundance. I'm going to come back. He works a lot with mantras, affirmations. Affirmations, of course, during meditation is a good way to kind of rewire your brain, right? To the more you do it, the more you believe it, the more your subconscious mind has proof of like, okay, this is true because you've been saying this for the last month. So this is now, our reality.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I started a couple of years ago with just YouTube, and I will do it as soon as I wake up. And then I tried probably at night. And then it's when I did the breathwork course. And the breathwork course had, of course, a lot of meditation and different exercises. Yeah. So
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice. You know what? I really do need to get into it. I'm gonna have to try that. I will try it, the 21-day
yes,
challenge for
please,
sure.
honestly,
Because I have
do
used
it.
Headspace. I have used it, and I'll hold my hands up and say I haven't been doing it recently. But yeah, I am definitely interested in it, and I'm very open to it. So I know I've spoken to so many, successful people as well that swear by it and say that that's what's helped them in their journey. So yeah, I mean, everyone can do it. Everyone can do meditation.
Everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. Yeah. And the thing is, like, don't get overwhelmed with what is this true essence I need to connect with, and what is this, like abstract thing that I need to feel. No, what we need to do, I feel like as humans right now, nowadays, we are so there's like an over consumption of information constantly that is not healthy for us. We're not meant to be consuming this amount of information, useless information, every single day with social media, and just we live in a system that is just, the more money you make and the more you do every day, the better you are for the system, the better you are for society, right? But like, if you look back, we were never this busy. We are not meant, like, we're not creatures meant to be constantly doing. Like, there's so much that you can gain by taking a whole week off, by literally, but not even like, okay, a week off on holidays, cocktails, party. No, literally, like, or even just a day of not doing anything. You'll see how much you also get to know yourself and get to know the things that you generally don't want to do. And it's like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this to, because someone else's thing that I should be doing this? Or am I doing this generally because I care about giving my time and my energy in this space to these people?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and especially
meditation,
like you said.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's just meditation really, even just, I think it's so good because it forces you to do less. It forces you to stop being productive, to make money, to gain this status, to do, like, stop doing and just be, just be here right now and experiencing this human experience. Like, oh wow, this is my body. Okay, I'm gonna take a moment to appreciate my face, my hair. I'm just gonna take a moment to be here without trying to please someone else, without trying to look good for someone else. It's like, it's a connection with self. It's a connection with yourself. So,
I think social media has so much to do with that as well. Like, we have to record and take pictures of all the food and every single minute of our lives. We can't just be there and be present in that moment without gratification or, someone liking the post or all this stuff, all this noise that we have these
Yeah.
days. It's just so unhealthy for us. And a lot of
Mm.
people find it hard to switch off these days in the generation we're in. And like you said, in London and your busy towns and cities, it's so hard when you're in them kind of
Yeah.
places. And you're not in London anymore, are you? Where are you at the moment?
I am right now in Guatemala.
So are you traveling at the moment then? Because I think a lot of people are going to be confused that you've got the Spanish, Spanish. You lived in London. Now you're there. Okay, what's going
Yes.
on?
So I was born in Spain, in Barcelona, and then I moved to London 8 years ago. I lived in London for 7 years. And then just before the pandemic started, this was obviously didn't have an idea that it was going to unfold this way. But literally first beginning of March 2020, I traveled to South Africa for 1 week. And then on that week, my flights got canceled, global pandemic, this is this. And then since then, I stayed in South Africa for 4 months. And then I just didn't like those 4 months were actually last year when I was doing my breathwork course. And I spent a lot of time alone. I was also doing a period of celibacy, not meeting not dating anyone, and just like bringing all the awareness inwards. And that made me realize that after living in London for 7 years, I just didn't want to go back there. It was kind of like, thank you for the lessons, but I'm so ready to now see the world. And I always knew that I wanted to do that, but I'm like, but what am I going to do, for work? Of course, like, how am I going to sustain this lifestyle? And then I've just been traveling since then. I've been to Mexico. I am now in Guatemala, and I'm going to Ecuador next week. And honestly, it's one of those that change your mindset, change your life. Because when I was in South Africa, I could have gone back to, I actually had then the opportunity to actually go back to London. But I was like, what am I going back to? Am I going back to the same life that I had before? Which, I mean, it was okay, but I was surviving. I was fully survival mode of like, okay, I need to make this amount of money to pay rent, to then spend bloody £10 a day on a tube. Like, it was just...
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, 7 years for me was enough. So then, I just started studying neurolinguistic programming to help my clients, like fitness clients, also in mindset. And I just started trying new things. Okay, I'm going to create this program. I'm going to create this container. I'm going to create this online thing. So I just wanted to sustain an online business. And since then I've just been traveling, and it continues to be, of course, it continues to push me out of my comfort zone, but I like it. Like, I've always been very driven. So, now I had this 6 weeks program online. This is now the second round, and I'm already planning the third round. And this is something that I didn't do back in London, because I didn't have that mindset of like, I can work online, because I was like, well, I'm in London, I might as well I just live in London. But I really think society nowadays we are heading into the pandemic, kind of like accelerated the process of everything being online, and it's just easier for you to make money online, and for you to reach people, and for you to help people, and for you to be of service to others. So I just kind of took the opportunity, and I've just haven't been back. And I don't think I'm actually, when I go, I will just go to see friends. But
so you've got a few places on the list. You're just gonna keep traveling, or have you got a final sort of place you're gonna settle? Or you're not sure about that yet?
Not yet.
Go with the flow.
So, yes. I mean, next week, Ecuador, I'm going to be there for probably 2 weeks to a month. I'm just going to a retreat for like a week to do some plant medicine, but I'm super, super excited. And I know that after the retreat, my life might, I will just reconsider again, where do I want to be? I have friends in Mexico, so Mexico is an option, but we'll see.
Mexico's
I feel like
beautiful.
because I'm now on this side of the world, I'm like, if I go back to Europe, I don't know when I'm going to go back. So that's why I'm trying to stay here as long as I can before I go back to Europe.
Okay, yeah. And then if you stayed in London, like you said, you wouldn't have had these experiences on your solo trips, and really just, appreciated everything you've sort of been through in that sense. So it's a beautiful thing, and Mexico is beautiful as well. So I mean, if you do move there, I'll be like hitting you up and coming over to Mexico.
Of course. Yes.
But for people that don't know, we actually met in Barcelona IFS as well. Yes. So I remember I think it was a certain song that come on. I think it was Soca, and not many people was dancing to it. And then you was dancing, I was dancing. I was like, hold on. It was like connection. Soca is on.
Yes.
And you was like, yes. I was like, yes. And then that history,
Yes,
the
yes,
rest was
yes, yes.
history. It was a great
Literally.
event. A great event.
Mm-hmm.
Met so
It's
many
beautiful
amazing
because
people.
music connected us. Actually, we were at a fitness and business event, and we
Mm.
didn't really sat down together during the talks. You know, like I remember I had actually my group,
Yeah, yeah.
one of my group, people that I met there also, because I also went alone. And
Mm.
then it was just music, and of course, if they play, you know, soca, dancehall, bashment, of course I'm gonna be there dancing. And you were
Exactly.
like, "That's my girl." I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah,
Because
hi,
everyone
let's be
everyone
friends."
around looked kind of confused as well. Like it was like, what is this? And we was just like, yep,
I
we know this.
know. Because also the fitness industry, the music is always like
Exactly.
and that's just not the music that I listen to. But if you give me a bit of like Jamaican, African vibes, I'm like, yes, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that's where we connected through the music. And music is
Yes,
literally the connection for so many things.
exactly. I
You
love
are
that.
actually a dancer as well, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still doing that?
Yes, just with a different approach. Yeah.
Okay. Is that where
Um,
the movement comes into it then?
exactly, exactly.
Right.
I just felt, yeah, I've been working, I used to work as a professional dancer, and then I was part of companies in London, and I was so unhappy.
Really?
And then, yeah, dance industry is such a competitive, and it can really suck the energy out of you. Like it's just,
See, this is where
phew.
social media can be so deceiving, though, isn't it? Because no one would have known that you weren't happy at the time.
Honestly, I feel like it's just for the cloud. Like people be posting things on social media, like, yes, I'm here at this show, I'm here at this music video. And the thing is, I also did that. Like I
Yeah,
remember
we all
the
do it.
last, yeah, the last music video that I did, professional, it was with Omarian, who is like a huge, you know, hip hop R&B artist from the States, and also Tiwa Savage, who's also huge in the Afrobeat industry. And I mean, I'm not gonna go too much into details, but I got paid peanuts for it, got paid 3 months later, a whole day of shoot to then be in the music video for 2 seconds. And I remember when I did that music video, I remember like taking a picture with them, like, oh my God, Mario and Tiwa Savage. And then posting a picture on my Instagram to just get that validation, to get that, look at me, I'm here with these people, right? And I remember receiving messages from my friends being like, wow, from Barcelona to London, dancing with a Marion, huge. And I'm like, I'm still working as a waitress, or I'm still
Mm.
working as a receptionist, because this is not paying my bills right now. And yeah, it was just so confronting with my values. Like I was doing this because I thought that that's what success meant as a dancer. And I kept going to auditions and feeling so shit, because you are so replaceable. You are just a body, like someone that looks like me but dances better. Cool, next. And you were just
Yeah,
there waiting for
it's
hours. Like the thing is, it's just so detached from what dance is meant to be. Like dance, when they started years ago in tribes and around the fire, it was all about healing. It was all about expressing yourself. It was all about connecting with people. It was all about like love, and just another way of releasing emotions, feeling good, feeling
expressing yourself.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, expression and connection. It was all about that. And now the dance industry, or at least the experience I have had, it was just the opposite. I just felt so disconnected from self, because I just had to go to these classes to be seen. And comparing myself, I'm not skinny enough, my body's not big enough, I don't have abs, my hair is not long enough, I don't know, I'm not fast
Mm.
enough, I cannot do 2 periods and people are doing 5 periods. So yeah, that's my background. and and then I started teaching. So I was working music videos, and I started teaching. And when I started teaching, I just fell in love with teaching, because there was a connection. There
Mm.
was the women that were coming to my class, they were mostly beginners, the people that have a 9 to 5 job, and they just come to the ends because they just want to have fun. And I just discovered this whole world of teaching people who don't aspire to be professional dancers. Therefore they are not there to compete with each other. It's kind of like, I don't care if I don't get it done, whatever. Like if I don't get it right, because I'm going to, my passion is something else. This is just for me to have fun.
Yeah.
And it was just such a different approach. And I really fell in love with dancing, with with teaching, with my students, and yeah, just being creative like that. So now I continue to teach movement, but I kind of fusioned my experience as a personal trainer, animal flow, and dance, and just a bit of like somatic practices, like just shaking and just moving. It's movement. It's not so much about like a choreography, but it's free dance, it's free flow. It's just like, yeah, what I do right now is just part of the 6 weeks program, and it's called movement medicine. And the girls, honestly, this last round that I just did, they loved it so much. And like some of them is like, this is my favorite session of the week, because we have live sessions, 3 live sessions every week. And they're like, I just feel so free. I can connect with my sexuality, also like using movement as a woman to actually start moving in ways that probably you wouldn't allow yourself to do it, of course, probably on the street or even with your partner, because you haven't even explored that by yourself. So how are you going to be brave now to dance sexy for your partner? You know, so is medicine, is using movement to open up, to expand, to discover yourself, to have fun, to release, rather than like, I need to look a certain way. It's not about that. It's about how you feel. If you feel like this, okay, let's shake it off. You know, if you feel shy, okay, what if we try something new? What if we try to touch our body? You know, it's, oh, I love it. It's so fun. Like I love teaching these classes.
I can imagine the women you teach as well would feel the exact same way, and they feel, you know, I imagine you have some women that are insecure who might lack confidence, and then when they're doing that, they feel like a complete new woman, and it brings them out of the shell, which is so beautiful, really, because you know, you don't know what they're going through at the time, and just from doing movement, it's such a beautiful thing. And I've seen the way you move, and it is so beautiful. And I see where the animal is it zoo? So kind of like zoo fitness?
Yeah, it's very similar. They just both market it in a different way. I mean, animal flow for me, yeah, like when I was working as a personal trainer, I felt so restricted with squats, lunges, especially coming from the dance industry. It was just a bit like boring for me, to be fair. So then animal flow is just another way of, you know, more like calisthenics and using your whole body weight, mobility, which is what I was always passionate about. It was never about let's get a 6-pack and lose weight. It's more like let's move better. Fuck, if you're going up the stairs and then your hips hurt, you can squat as long as you want, but like probably we need to do some rotations with your hips, or we need to look at like active range of
to increase longevity.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, animal flow was fun. Like I just did the certificate and I taught a few classes online actually during the lockdown, but now it's just like another tool that I use on my classes, but I don't necessarily do animal flow classes. It's just something that I enjoy because I like being barefoot and I like just being on the ground. So I'm like, yay, let's do this.
That's the thing, you've got to enjoy what you do as well, like 100%. Anything you do. I actually enjoy really doing heavy squats. You know what I mean? I enjoy
I love lifting weights though. Yes.
I love lifting weights and feeling strong and that achievement.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, I used to do dancing myself. I think that's what we spoke about IFS, and that sort of freeing feeling. It's like no other. And if you are one of them people that don't like lifting weights or you don't like dancing, find something you do like, right?
Absolutely. The goal here is movement. Absolutely. In a sedentary life, like working at a desk, the goal is to just move freely. So but of course the strength training, you know, we're not going to go into that, but there's so many benefits to it. And I still train at the gym like every week, at least once or twice, especially now traveling. But if I'm somewhere with a routine, 3 to 4 times a week, and 4 times a week easily, strength training for sure.
Yeah, and you've also got to do stuff you don't like. Let's be honest. You've got to do some stuff you don't like as well.
Absolutely, I agree.
You said that you went through a bit of celibacy and, you know, time to yourself solo. How did you find that? But that was experience.
That was so empowering.
Yeah.
And so, like I'm actually, I don't think I want to do it again. But I do think everyone should spend some intentional time alone. And this is the difference between being single and choosing to take a path of celibacy and being very intentional with the time they spend alone. So for me, is when I started meditating even more. Whenever I will crave the need, like the attention of someone else, I would like, okay, how can I give that to myself right now? I'm gonna take myself out on a date, or also I started like actually also learning about my own pleasure and self-pleasure, and buying, things for myself, toys for myself. Because I kind of like, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend we were together for 4 years. And then after that, I had like a couple of dates with, just a couple of guys, and it didn't really go anywhere. And I was like, I just don't want to I don't like to date like that. Like, what's intention behind this, right? And I also felt, me personally, and I'm sure many women also feel this way, when it comes to pleasure and sex, we always depend on our partner. It's like our sex life is as good as our connection with our partner is. And this is true to an extent, but also it is your responsibility to bring that awareness and that knowledge on yourself to the relationship, rather than depending on like, how good are you, with this body right now? What are you going to do to me? Because depending on that, it's going to be, successful or not. So I feel like, it was empowering, because it was like just retaking the power on like, I'm going to learn how to, achieve all of this pleasure by myself. So then if anything, when I come into a next relationship with my future partner, then I can be like, cool, I know all of these and I have all of these tools and awareness, and we can do this together. But my pleasure does not depend on you. So it was I just spent so much intentional, and I think that is the key word, intentional time, meditating, journaling, doing therapy, coaching, and just really getting to know myself, like being my best friend and being so comfortable being alone that next time when I meet someone, I don't lose myself in them,
get
because I think
dependent on
that,
them.
I think that happens a lot also, that you just, or at least for me, you just get lost in the relationship. You just get lost trying to please this person and trying to, just be this person that they want you to be. And it's like, are you being strong in yourself? Are you being authentic to your values? Are you being conscious in the relationship with yourself? So it was beautiful. And then after that, I crossed paths also with a beautiful man, and we were together for a few months, and it was just not the right time right now, but we both learned so much, and it was a very beautiful relationship together. And I think like right now I'm not seeing anyone, and I just want to be very intentional with when I share my energy with someone else, and
that can be across the board. So that could be with both, romantic and friendship, your relationships, with everything. And I think it's very important what you said about, having that intentional time with yourself, whether you are in a relationship or single, because I think so many people get into a relationship, and then if, for whatever reason it ends, the whole world, like we mentioned before, the whole world sort of ends, and then they don't know how to take it. So it ends up being a case of, right, I need to find someone quick. I can't be on my own. Rather than if they was in the relationship and they was in tune with the self before the relationship ended, then that wouldn't happen. Obviously, they'd be devastated if they've lost someone, but they would be in tune with themselves, so they'd know to stay true to their authentic self. And I think, traveling plays a big role into that as well. If, you go traveling and you have that intentional alone time, it can play into so many factors in your life.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
just, you sound like a very spiritual person.
We are all spirits having a human experience.
But you're more in tune with your spirituality.
I mean, the relationship with my spirits, I guess, has definitely grown so much over the last 3 months since I'm in Guatemala. Like at the beginning of my stay here, I did this 5 days pilgrimage. It's called Wayep, and it's like the shortest month of the Mayan calendar, and it's like 5 days that is in between both years, both Mayan calendar years. So is 5 days of prayers, of a lot of meditation, a lot of ceremonies with the fire, with tobacco, with cacao. And that definitely, it humbled me so much, and it changed me for sure. And it if anything, it helped me to let go of the idea, the idea that I had this idea that I had to be someone. And that experience was so freeing. It was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be who I want to be. I'm not gonna be like before that. I was still teaching a lot of dance classes and doing a lot of personal training, but not really like I was, playing with meditation, breath work, and new linguistic programming, all of this, but I wasn't really fully owning who I am. And I feel like those 5 days was just like, okay, I'm gonna let go of this because this is not serving my higher purpose. I'm not being of service to my clients the best I can if I continue to put myself in a box, if I continue to live with fear. So yeah, I mean, that was really, like a huge turning point in my life. Why, yeah, at the end of February. But even just meditating when I was in South Africa and I was spending so much time alone and I was doing the whole celibacy, and learning about myself, that was also super empowering. And I remember even just the way I will talk to my friends, it will change because I will spend so much time meditating or just bringing that love towards me, that it was no longer about trying to impress other people and just owning who I am. And kind of like the right people will stay, and the people that are so accustomed to who I used to be will go. And that's okay, because that preservation of myself is also gone. So I cannot please you right now because I'm owning who I am. So you are, you know what I mean? Like you were happy with who I used to, this role that I used to play, and I'm not entertaining this idea anymore. So you can go with it too.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
and
literally.
everyone in your life plays a role. They're there to
Yeah.
teach you different lessons in life. And like you said,
Yeah.
it's one of them things where you can let go of them people, you can let go of toxic people, you have to be your true self. If you're trying to please other people, then you're not going to get anywhere. And I imagine that must have been such a freeing, literally the weight must have been lifted off you once you found that sort of inner channel, inner spirituality.
It's freeing and scary because every change we're stepping into the unknown, we are breaking patterns that we are very comfortable with. So, I think 2020 was a year of transformation for many of us, and a year of rebirth, and a year of like, when I go back to normal, what do we really want to go back to, right? So it gives a lot of time to just think and meditate on, fuck, I've been doing this job for 5 years. Do I really want to keep going when I go back to the office? Or do I want to try something new? So it's freeing on the other side, but in the journey, in the process, it's scary. You feel lost, you feel insecure, because you are stepping into the new, you're stepping into the unknown. You don't know how to navigate so many things, right? So, and you don't really feel aligned anymore doing the things I used to do, or you don't really feel aligned anymore having those conversations with that group of friends. And it feels uncomfortable. It can feel very lonely. So I just want to say this because during that process, I've also felt so lost. I really have felt like, what am I doing? But I just knew that the bigger vision was more important than going back to, to where I was. Like just even the thought of like going back to companies that I used to work for, because I used to work for, I don't know, just dance companies and WeWork and yeah, exactly. Just like different companies, that is like at the time they were good to me at that moment. But on that transition is uncomfortable. Fuck, it's so uncomfortable, but you just have to keep seeing that bigger picture of where you see yourself in 1 year, 2 years, and what you need to do to get there.
Yeah, because going out your comfort zone in general is such a scary thing, but you've got to do it to get to that next stage. It's so important to push through it.
Absolutely.
I think 2020 has taught a lot of people that, and it's actually almost forced people to have deep reflection and time to the self. And that's scary in itself, but once you get past that, it's so powerful.
Absolutely.
Listen, this has been an amazing conversation. I've loved it. With all my guests, I do a final 4 fire questions.
Okay. Oh my God.
Just you can have a minute breathing if you want before we.
I'm ready. Let's go.
You ready? Okay. So, what's the most important thing you have learned in life, and what was your life? What was your life like before learning it? I think we've covered a lot of this, but dive deeper.
The most important thing that I've learned in my life is that
Mm-hmm.
everyone is doing the best they can, always.
Mm-hmm.
Even when people hurt you, even when people are malicious towards you, they are doing the best they can at the level of awareness they have. And this is a lesson that I learned. Long story short, my dad committed suicide, and I went to therapy, and I was really upset with life and with him, and like my mom hid that information from me for many years. So it was a process of like from anger to how can you do this? And I'm giving this example because I want you to understand how life changing this is once you understand that everyone really is doing the best they can. So let's say with this example, with someone committing suicide, it's like, is this really the best you can? Can you not go and ask for help? Or can you not like, because he also did it like in our house and we saw the whole thing. So if this is the best you can you not then go, jump on a bridge so we at least don't see your body? So really understanding and accepting that everyone is doing the best they can with the awareness that they have. And even, something so tragic as suicide, that's the best solution that they found at that moment. So when someone cheats on you, when someone is bad towards you and causes you pain, understanding that they are only causing pain to themselves. They are only, they are the ones that are closing their hearts, and they are not able to be loving to others, but they are doing the best they can with that awareness. And of course, they're not going to be able to give you love. They're not going to be able to speak if they are suffering so much, because they just don't have the love for themselves. They just don't have that awareness on their own reality. So yeah, the biggest lesson for me is like, everyone is doing the best they can, always, even when it's like something that you don't agree, like racism, for example. I have many conversations also with friends about this. And it's like, in their reality, their best world at this level of awareness is being racist. Can they learn? Can they change? Can their reality change? Of course. Our reality changes constantly. They just need to be inspired to change. But at this exact moment, those actions is what is best for them. And even if it's hurting other people. So yeah.
Listen, I'm really sorry to hear about your dad for one, and
It's okay.
I think so many people will resonate with that because in the current climate with mental health, people listening to that, I'm sure they'll be able to relate. And yeah, just
have compassion always.
Yes.
People are suffering, and people, not everyone feels comfortable talking about it. Everyone is doing the best they can always, and the only thing that you can do is inspire with your existence in this world. Is just continue inspiring for bigger change, for a better awareness of all of us as a collective. But you cannot change people. You can only inspire them and show them like, look, you can also live this way, or you can also, at your own pace, at your own pace, at your own time. But look, this can also happen. Without the pressure of like, I'm gonna change this person, and this person is gonna, come out of depression because of me. Not until they are ready. Not until they are ready to do better, until they are ready to see things from another perspective.
Yeah. That was a perfect answer. That was the first question. We've got 3 more. It's okay. That was beautiful, beautiful answer. So daily habits, something you do every day to keep you mentally and spiritually focused.
First one, dance every single day, literally.
First thing in the morning.
Just put just like loud music, some soca music, whatever you like to listen to, some R&B, and just move your body. Like just move that energy that is stagnant right now in your body, that you feel like, I don't know where it is. Move it, shake it off. So habits, everyday dancing. I want to say meditation every day. I don't really see it right now. I have had periods in my life what I do right now. I don't really meditate every single day, but most of the days, yeah, meditation helps a lot. or breath work. So either just focusing on doing one breath work technique for like 15 minutes, which leads into meditation, or just, some visualization. So that happens probably, I'll say 90% of the days. And how many habits? Is it just how many?
Any daily
just
habits?
Just habits.
Habits in general, yeah. Like that keep you mentally aligned, you know.
They keep you okay. I'm someone very organized, so I like to have always like my Google Calendar with my colors and just knowing what I'm doing on that day. Otherwise, it's a bit of chaotic.
Yeah,
I'm a Virgo, so I'm just very like, I need to know what's happening.
A fire sign, Virgo, fire sign, is it? Or
it's an earth sign.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm an Aries. I've got the fire in me. I'm trying to cool my fire.
Yes, love that. Yeah, I mean, I'm Virgo sun, but Leo rising, so I do also have like fire on my chart.
That's where the hair comes in, the lion hair. Yeah?
That's right. Yes,
yeah.
that's all the Leo. So I think just being clear, just having clarity, like what's going to help you to move forward. What do you even want from life? What do you even want from today? What do you want from this week? What do you want to get from this? So checking in every few days. You might want to have a routine every Friday or every Sunday, every Monday, to just, okay, this is my get to-do list this week, or this is my priority. So yeah, just having a clear mind of what's next for me, with the flexibility of like anything can happen, of course, and surrendering to the flow of life ultimately. And dancing, just movement is so important. Just shake it off.
I didn't even ask, what kind of meditation are you doing at the moment when you practice? Are you doing a certain type?
Yeah, at the moment, I'm just really enjoying breath work.
Okay.
And breath work in the morning. So in the morning, I'll do a strong breathing exercise. And that just leads into just meditation, which I'm not even trying to visualize. If I'm going through a period, like a few weeks ago, emotionally, I was just very not really knowing what's next for me. And something that I do a lot with my clients is meditation on visualizing your higher self, visualizing the next version, like really closing your eyes and imagine yourself embodying all of these things that you aspire to. Doing the things that you want to, but you don't say, you don't have the courage yet. So just sitting, and for 10 minutes, you just imagine yourself smiling with this group of people or in this city, just doing this job. So that helps a lot. And the more you do that, the more you will align your actions, your everyday actions, to meet that person, that version of yourself. So yeah, I definitely recommend that.
Okay. Favorite book or resource?
Favorite book or resource?
It could be book, audiobook.
Favorite book. Fuck, I have so many. Oh my God, I need to choose one. I guess,
what's the first one that comes to your mind?
Yeah, the first one that really changed me, actually, for someone who is also starting with meditation, and I'll recommend that. I read that 3 years ago, and I've read probably like 3 times already, is The Power of Now.
Okay.
Classic. Yeah, when I read that, I was actually working as a personal trainer, just fully at the gym with back-to-back clients, and I would recommend it to all my clients. And it would be such a change from strength training to go and meditate, go and read this book, and just understand that there's so much more to life than just this physical body, but still paying me as a personal trainer.
Do you know what though? It's not just that. I think, like you said before, if you're training and you're trying to get people fit and healthy, like I do with all my clients, I try to help them see the biggest picture. So if, a lot of females, especially because I mainly train females anyway, they approach you and they're like, the first thing, I want to lose weight, I want to look a certain way. I'm like, okay, that's great. We can definitely help with that and get you healthier. But let's look at the bigger picture. Let's see how much you can lift. Let's see how strong you can get. Let's see how we can, have habits. And again, that they come in together. If you're getting your clients to try and sort of change your lifestyle with meditation, reading, walking, getting out in nature, then they're going to feel more motivated to come and train as well. So I think they do come together. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So everybody,
Absolutely.
clients, I hope you're listening. Power of now.
Yes. Power of now is a big one. Yeah. I mean, I'm right now actually reading into this one called Cosmic Sexuality.
Okay.
Which is all about that awareness of your sexual energy and how powerful it is.
Okay.
I think we can leave that to another podcast, but that's also very, like eye-opening and just, I think we all should actually own our sexuality and actually understand the power that our sexual energy has. Yeah. And how to manage it better, how to not just like, oh, I need to release, boyfriend, girlfriend, come here, so I can just like release. And like, okay, I have all of this energy, what do I do with it? How can I channel this? How can I heal from the past? It's just, power of now.
that's definitely another podcast. I feel like I could speak to you for hours, and then we'll probably have to do one on the sexuality, and that's a whole nother ball game. Okay, last question. What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
Being in nature and just being barefoot in nature. And just letting go of any labels and any pressure that we have as humans. Honestly, when I feel the most grounded, when I feel the most relaxed, when I feel the most myself, it's just barefoot, just stepping, in grass and in water. Also, like water is so healing. It's just washing away. It really is like medicine. So and I feel inspired also when I'm in nature without phones or distractions, so I can really connect with myself and then see those opportunities and see those possibilities for myself, my professional, personal life, that I cannot really see and connect with if I am distracted with social media and someone else's life and someone else's trip to Italy. Like, who cares? I don't care that you were eating the spaghetti in Italy. So just being by yourself in nature is like, there's so much. Like, there's so much abundance right now around me, but also in my life. I can actually just do anything. If I just switch off all of this noise and I listen to myself, that's when I get the most inspired.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of them things as well where people have the phones, and even though they say they're not going to go on it, if it's inside, and something pops up, the light comes on, and it's like you said, Karen telling you that she's had some tomato soup. I don't know where that come from.
All right then.
Karen likes tomato soup, what can I say? So, and then that pops up and you're like, you go on it automatically, you know what I mean? So it's no technology, in nature, beautiful.
Yeah.
And I can imagine even more so in the night. I mean, how hot is it over there at the moment?
It's not hot at all.
Oh, is it not hot?
Like, we are no, because we are, so the season goes the other way, right? So right now we actually entering rainy season. It's quite chilly. Like, it was cold a couple of months ago, and even until last month, but this month, like, I'm wearing like long and long. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not cold right now.
It looks so bright. Okay. But it's still nature. It's all good.
I honestly think it's a lighting in this room, but it's actually extremely cloudy today.
Okay. Well, we don't need to see that
light here.
We'll just imagine it's sunny. It's fine.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on socials then, or online?
Yeah, so Instagram is at everything together. I am Marta Salcedo. So name and surname all together. I am Marta Salcedo, and it's the same for Twitter. I don't know why I said that. Never on
Twitter. You can get loads of followers on Twitter now.
I literally only use Twitter to like post, one of those, whatever you call it, tweets, and then just screenshot and then put it on Instagram.
Same, exactly the same.
I have Twitter. So I think honestly I'm mostly on Instagram. I mean, I have a website, movewithmarta.co.uk, but soon it's going to change into just martasalcedo.com. I'm currently working on that. So Instagram is the best way. Instagram is the best way.
Okay, gracias, Marta. I wish
nada, mi amor.
Shit, I can't think of any more Spanish.
She's like just gracias. Just
I will come. I do know some, but you put me on the spot now, so I'm gonna agua caliente, por favor.
Cerveza, por favor. See?
There you go.
Yeah, agua caliente is good. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just going straight to, the holiday mood. Cerveza, por favor.
Yeah, like you've thrown me off now. So like, yeah, I'll call it that. I'll escape while I can. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for listening, guys. Make sure you follow her on Insta and maybe not on Twitter, but on the website. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on and hope you enjoyed, guys.
Thank you.